All right, now recording. So, digital health then, embarking on a bachelor's degree. Quite the long process, but this is the sort of thing that our society decides it's acceptable to subject young people to. So, welcome everybody. So why did you guys pick this degree? I'm curious. Anybody? Yeah.
My mom saw it on the news and she was like, "What?" I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah. Press coverage. I love it. Good advertising. Anybody else? Yes.
I was gonna do general computer sciences, and this seemed like you can do all of that plus something a little bit more specialized.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Good one. Anybody else? Yeah.
I always thought that IT and the technology stuff are conquering the world on one side, They're taking all over everything. Now the other important thing is health itself. So why not taking the field in health? Because after what happened in Corona, we saw everything was closed, but the health. So that's why I was thinking about something, a combination of both.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, certainly. Anybody else? So, you're in a good spot. How many people went to the orientation online? Anybody? There was like an orientation session yesterday.
I had a question. So there was an orientation yesterday for all programs, except this is the only program that didn't have like a route to go to an orientation in.
See, it kind of did, but I think the information was published a bit late.
I think when I looked online for the orientation, it said orientation would be held first day of class.
Oh, well, okay, I can orient you guys. Yeah, coffee shop is that way, cafeteria is that way. I guess, oh man, I don't even have, the slides should be online. I don't know, I'll ask Joe. You guys have a class with Joe Verasso this semester? You guys probably don't even know. Anyway, wonderful human being by the name of Joe Verasso is the program coordinator, who's an important guy if you want to know things about the program. I am happy to help you in any way I can with my course or things in general. Okay, so orientation stuff. If you have any sort of problem with like classes, like you want to switch what class you're in, you're interested in taking electives or anything of that nature, Joe Verasso is the person to talk to about that. He's the program coordinator. If you're having a particular issue with a particular course, the first thing that you should do is you should talk to the professor in that course to see if you can resolve it at that level. Otherwise, your sort of point of contact is the Associate Dean, Brian Ledgerwood. He's the Associate Dean for the CSATE cluster, which includes computer science and integrated technology. So it's computer programming and networking. As it turns out, your coursing, as you probably have already figured out, is kind of a mix between the programming side and the networking side, at least for like our segment of all of the work that you guys are doing, because the degree itself is sort of divided into three main parts. You have the IT stuff, you have the businessy type stuff, and then you've got the health type stuff. I don't know anything about those other two. I am strictly a computer nerd, so and you'll be having me for web programming next semester as well. So we'll have plenty of time to get to know each other. And it's a small class, so with a class of this size, I can afford a no student gets left behind kind of approach. It's going to be fun. Don't worry, everything will be fine. Don't panic. I know it's new stuff, but we'll be okay. So, let me think. Orientation. I guess I'm welcoming you to Mohawk College as an institution then. in a kind of a general sense. Anybody, like, how many people, like, had done a diploma or something here in the past, or had any interaction with this institution? Are you guys all fresh to Mohawk, I guess is what I'm asking? Well, it's a good school. You know, architecture is a little bit 60s, 70s, but to be expected for this part of the world. You know, if you're going to an educational institution in Ontario, you should expect to see a lot of institutional cinder block rooms, you know. But that's kind of just, you know, how it goes. Student life, we've got a number of different clubs and things. Most particularly, there's the New Developers Club, which does a bunch of software-related stuff. There's the Cyber Club, which does, like, half of them are, try to hack the other half's servers and that kind of thing. They do, like, war game scenarios and stuff. It's cool. There's the Video Game Development Club, of which I happen to be the head, actually. So if you would like to make video games, if you're a cool person who likes cool things, then we meet Fridays 2 to 5. Room, I haven't been given a room yet, but watch for the posters. There's also the LAN parties. LAN parties are the first Friday-ish of the month, and they go to like 1 a.m. or something ridiculous. So if you like to blow people up, if you want to blow a professor up, then that's a great way to do so. There's also there's a hackathon coming up, which there's some volunteer opportunities for. This program does not have a lot of students in it, as you may have noticed. We would like the program to be bigger, but like we have like an outreach problem. You know, we need to get butts in the seats. So one of the excellent professors who teach in this program, Kevin Brown, and I do a hackathon for high school students. It's coming up towards the end of October. It's basically the entirety of a Saturday. We go from I think I get there around 7 a.m. and I'm leaving around like 11 p.m. But for a hackathon, one day is actually quite short for a hackathon. There are volunteers. You don't have to go that entire time. You can like pick a slot. You can come and talk to high school students and watch the cool projects that they're making. But yeah, it's that's a really good resume thing you could do. I think you get free pizza. But it's honestly a very fun time. Last year we had like 50 high school students, and this year we're hoping we might get like 80 maybe, hopefully, because we sold out tickets last year. So you got a question?
What is exactly a hackathon?
It's like a design challenge. It's like we had our industry partners in Hamilton Health Sciences and Halton Health, whatever they call it, not Health Sciences, whatever they call the Halton one. They came in with some like actual real world digital health design problems that they have from their actual, actual organizations, and they brought them and set these challenges before our 50 high school students who like paired up into groups and solved these challenges and did a presentation at the end, and it was cool because as you get old, you kind of get crusty, and like your brain is very used to working in fixed patterns. So young people coming in and like solving problems can be of great inspiration to people who run places like Hamilton Health Sciences. They thought it was absolutely excellent. So yeah, that's kind of the idea, is to get these young, juicy, supple brains working on these actual real problems. The one that was presented by the Hamilton Health Sciences was, IV machines? So when somebody has to take intravenous medication, right? They have that bag hanging on the stick,
Oh, yeah.
and there's like a pump that it runs through that like counts out how many units of medicine that goes into it. These things are on wheels, and they actually lose quite a few of them per year. They kind of just go on walkabout, you know? They kind of walk out the door and they never see them again, or like they can't keep track of where the inventory is inside of the building because like I'm sure everybody's been in a hospital, but you've probably only been in a very small portion of a very large building, right? Like hospitals are huge and it's easy to lose stuff in them. So like an inventory management system for IV pumps was one of the challenges that was set for the high school students. And they came up with all kinds of interesting ideas, varying levels of implementability. It was everything from like keep track of things with RFID to like make them robots. Probably they're not going to go with making them robots, although that would be cool. The other one was a little more general. It was reimagine what an emergency room looks like so that it's more user-friendly and that people know where to go when they're supposed to go somewhere and that type of thing, which was cool. We had like a lot of people for that one thought, oh, we'll make a phone app because, like the entry-level design thing on basically anything is make an app for it on the phone.
Like a 3D map? That's what you're trying to say? Like a 3D map of the emergency room?
Well, it varied. A lot of it involved having a map in an application. Sometimes it was just like kind of like, you need to go here, walk this way, One team was very creative and they thought, oh yeah, we'll teach the people the layout of the ER by making it a video game that they have to play through, and then they'll know where all the rooms are. So, and that was cool. Didn't win, but it was a cool idea. So yeah, and like they actually made like a working prototype of a video game, including the map from the example map that had been given to them in the design challenge. So yeah, all kinds of stuff like that. I don't know what the challenges are going to be this year because like we haven't been given them yet, but yeah, it's a cool thing. If you want to come and volunteer for that, just email me and we'll get you hooked up. It's good for a resume. But let's see. My goodness. What else do I want to say? There's a student code of conduct at this institution, which shouldn't be any surprise. Like, don't murder people. Don't steal people's lunches. That type of thing. Just be nice to people and you'll be fine. There's also the academic integrity policy, which has it has more teeth. So cheating is not tolerated. We consider copying code off of the internet into an assignment to be cheating. It will vary by class, but I consider doing the same thing with ChatGPT to be cheating. So when you write code, it needs to be your code, right? Because honestly, if you're examining the differences between someone going onto to some random website, copying the code into their code, and submitting that as their own, versus what ChatGPT is doing, ChatGPT is doing the same thing, it's just a middleman. All it does is it pulls code off of random websites, smushes it together, and says, look, I made an original thing, but it's lying. That's the thing about ChatGPT, is it lies. So, if, particularly for introductory courses like this, nothing that we present should be sufficiently complicated to require the use of that type of tool. And if it is, I will explain it again. It is this is a fundamentals course. So it is important that at least and I'll tell you when stuff is in this course is important and when it is not. But when I tell you something is important in this class, it means you need to have it memorized, right? When I tell you what an if statement is, you need to just know that. You can't be looking up reference every time you need an if statement. It's just not, you're in for a rough time otherwise. Incidentally, how many people here have programmed ever before in their lives? Okay, what kind of languages do you guys use?
C Sharp, Java, I've done a little bit of C++.
Okay,
I went to McMaster, the BTech, so I only was there for 1 year, but we did C Sharp and that. And then I did a lot in high school too.
You should find a great degree of familiarity here because this course teaches C Sharp. Yes?
I did Python at Waterloo for a bit, and I was not very good at it.
Well, that's because Python is a terrible language.
So,
Yeah. And what do you have experience in?
Just Java and Python.
Java and Python. Cool. So you will find that C Sharp tastes quite a lot like Java because people sometimes colloquially refer to it as Microsoft Java. So, you know, C Sharp is a good language. It's one of the good languages. There are good languages and there are bad languages. Most of the bad languages are web languages. Most of the good ones are basically, for me, a language is good if it has a static type system. So that's like all I care about, but you know. If you don't know any programming whatsoever, don't worry, this is a class. The whole point is that I'm teaching you. We will start from the bare basics, the barest of the bare essentials, all right? And we will work our way up. So this class also is intended to use a piece of software called Unity, which is actually a video game development engine. C Sharp is the scripting language, which is used inside of Unity. A certain amount of the course it will be a fairly major theme in the course. That being said, I'm going to also try to show you what just plain vanilla C Sharp looks like, because applications of Unity are somewhat limited, shall we say. It was put into the course basically to try to get people excited about coding, because look, it's pretty and it has colors. But, you know, I will basically, at some point I'm going to be put in charge of the actual curriculum of this course. As it stands, I didn't actually develop the curriculum that I will be teaching you, so I will be modifying it liberally as I see fit. So, kind of come to class, because, you know, what I tell you in class is going to be like what's on the test. Okay? Question?
Do you have a preference if we use our personal devices or use the computers provided?
I have no preference whatsoever as to whether you use these lab computers or your own device. If you're using your own device, I'm probably going to hold my head more when I'm trying to like work out like installation problems that I will help you with, but I just, you know, it's like, you know, although I have every confidence that everybody in this room can install software. There are times when I'm teaching when I can't make that statement, but here I should be okay. We'll see. So yeah, if you want to install your own software, please be my guest. Are you running a Windows operating system?
Mac OS.
Yes.
I already have Visual Studios downloaded. Unity I've never used before.
Unity actually prefers to be on a Mac, although it's fine on Windows, but you'll find the interface to be very Mac-like. You can tell the people who make Unity use Macs, right? So yeah, you should be fine. Anybody else running a Macintosh operating system? Okay. All right. I'll be able to show you some fun stuff, like some Unix-based stuff that, you know, particularly when we get next semester to web programming, but, you know, I'll show you, you can skip some steps and like, you know, directly SSH into the server and that kind of thing from your bash prompt, which you actually have because you have a Unix-based operating system. Oh, I hate Windows. So, I'm a pure Linux guy. I'm in the cult of Penguin, so it's just best. It's just it's unapologetically the best family of operating systems. But anyway, so I should probably turn the projector on. Maybe log into the course shell. So congratulations everyone on finding the room. Unless you didn't find the room, in which case, hopefully you find it next time. I don't know, should I talk any more about, like, does anybody have any questions relating to orientation type, anything?
Yeah.
Anything I've said so far? Yes?
I haven't actually looked at the campus yet, I'm just curious if like the syllabus and everything is up there, on there.
In general, yes, and if it's not, ping me, because I'll put it up. Yes, so the learning management system, which makes it sound very sterile, but there you have it. The LMS, which is used at this institution, is called My Canvas. How many people have logged into it successfully so far? Okay. Everybody who has not, this is your opportunity. Please log into your computers and open up a web browser. Yes? Oh, yeah, use Mohawk Wi-Fi, it's better.
Right.
And technically speaking, according to the union, I'm supposed to refer you to the IT Help Center for issues related to getting your computer onto the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
Do you guys know where the IT Help Center is? Okay, do you know where C Wing is? You know where the cafeteria is?
That's everyone knows that.
Yeah. You know where the Tim Hortons on the lower floor is? Okay, we might have to go for a field trip. No, I'm not taking you all to Tim Hortons so I can get something from Tim Hortons.
The one near the exit?
No, that's a small one.
Yeah.
There's like a big one downstairs.
Oh yeah, in the cafeteria zone.
Yeah, the cafeteria is up those stairs, and like if you come around down by the bookstore, there's a little like alcove thing. That's the IT help center. So any problems related to the Wi-Fi, that's their problem, not my problem. Also, parking and one passes and like the student card. You guys know where the office is for that? You guys found it all? Everybody okay? Okay, cool. All right, sounds good. Also, because your cohort is this size, you can expect to be in this room a lot because it's one of the smaller ones. So make yourselves at home. Oh, 1 second. Yeah. Yes.
So if I would like to use my own laptop, like, would you advise me to buy a MacBook or HD? Which one would be good for the code?
Anything is fine. Yeah, it doesn't have to be a Mac. I wouldn't put that kind of unnecessary expense on you. I mean, Macs are nice, but you know, if you don't want a Mac, then okay. But seriously, in terms of system requirements, don't get a Chromebook, right? If you're running like Unity is software used for 3D modeled video games. It likes there to be a graphics card, but it's not necessarily, you know, it doesn't have to have one if you're doing lightweight work, right? But it's nice to have one. I know, like, I don't know if there's still a run on graphics cards. I don't know if the chips, like the chip, they were very expensive at one point, but I don't know if that's resolved yet. But if I were to make a recommendation, it would be for like a mid to low range gaming laptop, because they tend to have good specs. Yeah. And in particular, probably the networking side of things, you're going to be running virtual machines. Do You guys know what virtual machines are? Okay, so a virtual machine is a computer running inside your computer. So your computer is emulating another operating system. So what this means is that you have to, basically you have a file in your file system that is the size of another computer's hard disk. So you need RAM and you need memory. You need hard drive space. You need RAM and you need ROM. It's a very memory intensive thing, so don't chintz out on the specs, basically. Like, if you're in the like 1 to 2 terabyte range for a hard drive, that's a good place to be. I might push it more to 2, but you know. And if you're looking at RAM, you should get like 8 gigs would be a bare minimum. You know, 16 would make me more comfortable if I were getting it. So Canvas. This is Canvas. If you haven't logged in yet, so you'll have a dashboard with all of your courses here. To access your course shell, you just click on your course, and it brings up all of the information that I have published for you. The intention with this is I'm not going to publish anything that you need to see anywhere else. This is your one-stop shop. Make sense? Aside from the YouTube videos, because this thing is terrible at video. Absolutely terrible at video. Although I guess like comparing yourself to YouTube is kind of like, you know, it's terrible in comparison to the best thing on the market. You know? So, good. Yeah. So, should go through the, let's just take off the modules here. So, the way that things have been organized, there's lots and lots of instructions in this on just about everything. I don't have time to go through all of this in class, so this course does expect a certain amount of reading to be done by you outside of class time, minimally like the actual like PDFs that are here, but there are also, if you'll see, a lot of outside resources which it's asking you to read. Sometimes these can be a bit long, so, you know, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but some of these are skim rather than read through the whole thing, you know, particularly if you already know what you're doing, you know, but there are tons and tons of resources for you to learn this stuff, okay? Not to mention, I have a very strict policy of not putting anything on a test that I don't say in class. So I'm not gonna say, oh ho ho, you didn't read right to the end of number 3 from week 7, did you? No, I'm not gonna do that. That's a terrible, terrible thing to do to someone. Yes?
Can we see those pages?
Yeah.
On our Canvas?
They're exterior links.
Yeah, but
So-
mine ends at Office 365, and there's no ones after that. You see there's like the eyeball that's like in. Let me see the dots.
Did I not release it? Let's see here. Here, what you as student, let's see what you can see.
Yeah, no pages.
There we go. So, you should be able to see this.
It just doesn't, like on the left side.
Oh, this stuff?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm an instructor, so I've got more options than you do, so don't worry about that. I don't expect you to be able to, like, I would be very sad if anybody changed my very nice Dr. Mario thumbnail. Ooh, access tonight, nice. Yeah. Where is, there he is, leave student view. Yeah, okay. I chose the thumbnail for this, is Dr. Mario. Because like, you know, health and programming, Dr. Mario. Yeah. It also happens to be like one of those video games that I'm kind of a savant at, so very good at that. Don't ever face me in Dr. Mario. I will destroy you. You won't even know what's happening, that's how badly you lose. I didn't actually introduce myself, did I? Whoops. So, I am Dr. Nicholas Moore, not that kind of doctor. Doctor of Software Engineering. There's this part in The Simpsons where, like, I think it's Sideshow Bob is like, I'm a doctor, and Homer's like, are you a real doctor or a PhD? And he says, PhD. So there you go. This is my email address. Please feel free to send me any questions, comments, or concerns that you have. My email is always open, although I am often in class, so please allow one business day for me to answer emails. My office is in Q-Wing. Just ask for me at the front desk. Q-Wing is like a series of cubicles. That's why they call it Q-Wing. So I don't have like an office number or anything, but if you just go in and ask for me, if I'm there, then Sarah will come and get me. She's very nice. Unless you're crappy with her. So don't be crappy with the secretaries. That's good advice. That's good general advice. Don't be crappy with the secretaries. Ever, no matter where you are in life. The secretaries always can ruin your life by blinking. Just beware of them. So, anyway, Mohawk College map. I'll show you where it is. Down campus. Not now! Thank you. This seems like it's less useful than just a grid. Can I get a PNG, please? I want your fancy. Here it is. That's more useful. Tour configuration. Right. This is going to be. That's not that blurry actually. Okay, so. So,
There it is.
there we are. You are here, right? Right there. This is where we are right now, in the basement level of E-Wing. This is where, you'll have some of your classes. You will also have, I'm pretty sure you've got classes with me in also H-Wing and A-Wing, right? Yeah. Between these three and some in here, basically these guys here, this cluster, that's where you're going to have the majority of your classes, right? This is the C-Wing. This is primarily like the administrative offices. If you have to see the registrar for any reason, God help you, but if you do, they're here in the square. The campus store is right here. IT, as I said, is right there. This is like the cafeteria area. Yes, this is the library and collaboratory. That's where we're having the hackathon actually, on the second floor. This is my office, this is where my office is, Q-Wing. It's a portable building off the end of F-Wing, which is, basically there's the long way, and then there's the short way across the courtyard, which I, never take in the winter. Thank you. That's the shortcut, right there. Any questions? So far so good? Are you starting to feel oriented? I showed you a map, so that's got help, right? Yeah. North is that way. Actually, it's kind of like that way, technically. But all of the roads in Hamilton are built at like about a 17-degree angle from actual true north. Don't ask me how I know that. It's because I used to work in the solar panel industry, and you have to know that to calculate how much power a solar panel array makes. Which reminds me, this is the worst solar panel array I've ever seen in my life. I'm disgusted by it every time I walk by it. And I have to walk by it every day, twice, to get to and from my car. So, problem is, they have banks facing east and west, and the angle is way too shallow. These are California panels. You do not install California panels in Ontario. It doesn't make sense. They spent a lot of money on it. They could have done it properly just by adjusting the angle. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yes. So if you need me, I'm in queuing. Come on down, drop by. I'm happy to talk to anybody who comes at any time, as long as I'm not in class. I don't have like office hours or anything quite so formal, so just shoot me an email or drop by. Make sense? Good. Yes. So yeah, good. Moving right along. That link dead. Lovely. Learning plan. Okay, so you may be interested in how on earth you're going to be assessed in this class. It has a fairly rigid structure that's been laid out. Your grade will be coming from quizzes, laboratory exercises, assignments, and tests. So 4 different components. Every week there's something. So this week, well, every week except this week. Next week we're having a quiz. The week after that we're having a lab. After that it's a lab, then a test in week 5. Then an assignment, quiz, lab, test. It's all, what we're doing every week is laid out right there in the learning plan, so you never know, you never need to worry about what it is we're doing. It's all right there. Okay, question?
No final exam?
Oh, yeah, final thing, right there, 25%. Question?
What about the quizzes? Are they taken here or is it like online?
Yeah, they're online quizzes, but they're very, very short, like 5-10-minute affairs, and I generally do them in class.
Oh, so it's like online but in class?
Yeah, it's like a Canvas quiz. So yeah, it's online but in class. Generally with the quizzes, because they're designed to be kind of low impact, if you don't do well on the second one, or if you don't do well on the first one, I give you like a second attempt, but I'm fine with you doing it somewhere else. The tests are pen and paper though, so, or pencil and paper, whatever your preference. Good. It says there's a required textbook here, but don't buy it. There's more than enough to go on the web resources without having to buy the textbook, so you don't have to buy the textbook. It's okay. I don't even have a textbook, so. Actually, that's an important note actually. So at this institution, there is an accommodations policy. So if you're the type of person who, has any of the various things that you may have that you need some extra consideration when it comes to the duration of a test or leniency on deadlines or anything medical or anything like that, there is a policy. There's a whole thing for that. You have to get like a letter that gets sent to me telling me what you need without telling you what caused you to need it, for privacy considerations and that sort of thing. So like if you want to activate that system because you need that sort of thing, there's a whole policy for it. So I recommend getting that done earlier rather than later because I need to have the letter in my hand to be able to give you like a test extension or something like that. Okay? I think, I forget what the acronym is for it in the the public school system, it might be IEP, individual education plan, that type of thing. There's a thing for that. If that's the type of thing that you need, please seek it out. I think the website is als.master. Oh, wow. I used to teach at McMaster. Mohawk College Accessible Learning Services. There it is. This is their website. There you go. If you need an accommodation, there you go. If you don't, great. So, good. Attendance strongly recommended. Yes. Yep. A list of topics will be in the modules. So, yeah. Okay. Any questions so far? Clear as mud? Yeah, okay.
Sir, I have a question.
Go for it.
For a person who has no experience in ITs and all that, is it gonna be hard to pass this class?
It will not be hard to pass this class, no. You might have trouble with networking though. Don't underestimate the networking class you guys are taking this semester. I was reasonably friendly with last year's class, and they found it to be a bit rough around the edges, shall we say, in terms of like, it's a lot of information. Also, like, I say this because I'm a software guy and I don't do networking a lot, but like a lot of that stuff is really arcane, It's like almost practically magical incantations to me. I don't understand at all. But yeah, so networking. Watch out for this course, that course, but this one shouldn't be too bad because, basically the remit of this course covers more introductory material, I'd say, as an explanation. So, any other questions?
I do.
Yes.
My next class, as well as maybe a couple of other people, is in I.
Yes.
So it's like a 5 or 10 minute walk, and it starts at like 4. I'm not gonna leave right now, I'm just saying for future reference, is it okay if
Oh,
we
yeah.
get like 5 minutes to get there? Or?
Well, I mean, I tend to not cut my my classes short because you guys. Okay, so the rule at this institution. Because they schedule the block from like. Oh yeah. So yeah, the way they do the scheduling, for some gosh darned reason, they do schedule it as if it were like from like full hours, like from 3 to 4. But the perhaps unspoken rule in this institution is you get 10 minutes to go from class to class. So classes always end at the 15-minute mark, or whatever the last 15-minute mark is of the class. Because some of like 2 or 3 hour blocks. Actually, next semester you might even have 4-hour blocks. But you'll get time to go to class. Yeah, and to get to I-Wing from here, I recommend, I have a shortcut for you. Yeah, so go out here, cross into EA Wing, and then there's a path right about here into I-Wing. That's much faster than going here and up and around, because you have to go upstairs and then back downstairs again, depending on whether it's on the first floor or not. Any other questions? Yes, I did say that class is ending in just a few short minutes. What can I say in 3 minutes that I have already said? I guess I could pontificate very briefly on the language. So we're going to be learning a programming language called C# in this class. So First day and I already left my markers in another room. Goodness me. All right. Oh, there's some. I probably left those here too. So, in the history of programming languages, there is one programming language which is kind of the grandfather of all modern programming languages, and that language is C. C was developed in the 70s. It was one of the first really, really popular languages. It was the development language of the Unix operating system. And thus, C influences, like, basically it's very, very difficult to find a language that's not C-based in one way or another. And like practically all of the languages we'll be covering in this program are C-based in one way or another. However, C is a very simple language, and people were like, hey, we need more advanced features. We like object-oriented programming stuff, and C doesn't support that, so what do? So they made C++. It's a joke because in C, is the increment operator. C++ means C plus 1. So that's the next C. So when they made C#, rather than say C++, they said C++, like that, which of course became C#. So that's why it's called C#. It's actually C++++. Because, while this was, creative and clever because it was done by the Bell Lab guys who made C in the first place, this was done by Microsoft, and of course all they can do is iterate on the genius of other people. So, that is how C# came into existence. In terms of the flavor of the language, it's most similar to Java. We have a window to the other class, sometimes they're poking. So if you've used anything resembling Java before, that's what it's most similar to. It's actually not that similar to C++ in terms of syntax. So, it's good. It's an object-oriented language, which means things we will explore in more depth. And normally in the first class, I like to get to be able to do a hello world in the language we're studying, but this class was only an hour and you guys didn't have an orientation session essentially, so did I miss anything from the orientation session?
Not really. It probably actually added more.
Did that? Yeah, did I? Did I do better?
Yes.
Ah, there we go. So, if you have any questions, feel free to email. I'm also, you can probably tell I'm a reasonably personable person, so I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. Welcome to Mohawk College. I hope that we have many profitable hours today together spending our time studying programming code. I know I like it. I like programming. That's why I teach it. So, all right. Thank you very much. You can get to your next class. What is your next class, by the way?
I think it's networking.
Is it the networking that I just named?
I think so. I'm not too sure.
It's okay. You'll get used to the fact there's a casual rivalry between me and the networking guy. If it's still Doug Ferrier.
It is networking fundamentals next, yes.
Okay. Good luck. And if you're having trouble in that class, I can explain stuff in that, some stuff in that class too. Oh, I do it outside of class, obviously. We'll see how it goes. Oh, click that one, you'll find me. There it is. That's it, yep.
Thank you.
I'll be posting links, of course.
Okay, that's great.
But I'm pretty sure I have lectures from last year up on the channel still, so if you wanna take a look at some future stuff or what we did last year, then
That's actually a good idea.
you can get quite a lot just by watching the first 5 minutes.